Henry,
Hello?
can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. We are live and recording.
I'm promoting Julian to panelist. So we might be close to a quorum. Let's see, somebody else is here. Shoshana.
Yep, I'm here.
Okay. Do we know, have we heard from Bennett or Sarah? Anybody? I'll wait a couple minutes. I don't know if anyone else is coming.
It might be a very short meeting.
Yeah. Ellen, can you take minutes?
Sure, I took them last month, but
I thought Brooks did it. Maybe it was 2 months ago.
no,
He did.
I did it
Yeah.
last month.
Yeah.
I just don't want to have to default to it all the time.
Yeah. We can, if you need to speak or, we can like pause to get you a chance to catch up. Just let
Okay.
me know, Yeah. While we're waiting, let's do minutes. For me, it's probably 8. Julian? Julian, you're muted.
Hours or minutes?
Hours, sorry. Did I say
Hours.
minutes?
Yeah, you
Hours.
said minutes. That's why I gave you a thumbs up. I was like, yeah, I'd vote yes on the minutes.
Okay. Hours.
Hours. Probably 7 or 8.
Okay. Ellen?
I think 3.
Okay. Shoshana?
6.
6. All right. And excuse me. All right, let's do the minutes then.
Like, you can't vote on the minutes, Henry, unless you get a quorum, so.
We have a quorum.
Oh, you
Shoshana's
do?
here.
Okay, sorry.
So all in favor of the minutes?
Yes.
Ellen?
Yep,
Okay,
I
so
wrote them.
minutes are approved. And I'm going to share my screen with a couple of photos. I just got back yesterday. I'm sort of not really totally here yet, but I saw some interesting tree things. This is a tree in Buenos Aires in a park. You can see that pickup truck behind the tree to see how huge this tree is.
Wow.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a cool tree.
Yeah, it's a very cool tree. And then I'll share one other photo. This is from Sao Paulo, Brazil. No, sorry, wrong tree. Okay, hold on.
Taking over the sidewalk.
Oh yeah, so that came up. I thought.
Mhm.
Okay, so you can see it. Yeah. Yeah, the sidewalks are in total terrible shape, but they really all in both cities, particularly in Buenos Aires, the streets are lined with trees, big trees, and that seems to be more important than sidewalks and other things like that. So, and how we can change the culture here to get trees to be more important, and we can have big trees that grow. Yeah, and they're constantly new trees. You can see across the street a row of smaller trees. So they're doing lots of planting all the time. So it's cool.
Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of greenery.
Yeah. So, all right. Just wanted to share that briefly. Oh, somebody else is at the meeting. Let's see if Brooks is here. Let me promote you to panelist. There you go, okay. So we just started, Brooks. Did you have hours that you put into the committee last month? Were you at the meeting or you couldn't make the meeting?
I didn't make the meeting, yeah, so no, I haven't done anything since the, our project
Okay.
helping the trees.
All right, and do you want to take minutes today?
It's okay. I already started. It's fine.
Okay.
Oh,
good.
okay. Phew.
Oh, and Sarah's here. Yay, good. Sarah, minutes, no, hours.
2.
Two, okay. Sarah, so that's good. We have a decent group. Um,
I'm having trouble with my computer. So I'm on my phone right now. I apologize for not having my camera on. I'm gonna try to troubleshoot, but so I'm here, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
see if I can get onto my laptop also.
Okay, great. So let's go to the agenda. I might as well share that too, so briefly. There it is. Okay, you can all see that?
Yes.
Great. It was a rushed agenda that I made while I was in Buenos Aires, or I don't remember where, maybe I was in Sao Paulo by then, but and I didn't have time to call Alan and check in, so there might be more things we add onto topics not reasonably anticipated this month. So we approved the November minutes. No, we approved.
Yep.
Yes. Oh, it says October in them. Yeah, I made a mistake, but we approved the November minutes. We did ours. Our chair's report. Just mostly things from last month, like we talked about having a secretary, an official secretary or note taker. I'm gonna stop sharing so I can see you all better. And so that's something, I don't know if somebody wants to take that job on or what we should do about that. Or should we just go catch as catch can as we've been doing? Opinions, anyone?
I think it is nice to have somebody designated just for the consistency
Yeah,
of the notes. My only hesitation is I'm doing it for 2 other committees. I'm the secretary, so I'm feeling a little bogged down with, I don't want to take on a 3rd role.
sure. And Bennett was doing it, but he's not able to attend too many meetings now, so it doesn't really work for him to do it, so. Other thoughts? The
It's-
volunteers, all right, we can keep it tabled for now. We have someone doing it. Ellen's doing it today, so.
Okay.
All right, I'm on the wrong page here. Hold on. I just had oh, here we go. Okay. Op-ed. We talked about someone writing an op-ed maybe about zoning. Did anyone take that on? I don't remember. Writing a column in the Gazette about trying to change the zoning to require a setback so there's room for trees in front of new buildings in town.
Oh. That's something I would work on.
Yeah, great. You can come up with a draft and we can send it out to the committee to look at. And
Is
discuss
there,
it.
is there any, information that would help me kind of get started?
Shoshana, you were at that meeting.
Yes. Yeah, I've made our opinions very well known at the thing. It's not like, anyone gets to vote on it or anything. It's like, it's more like we go and we talk about like what's important to us as citizens. And I've expressed that, we want to maintain our mature trees. We don't want to chop down trees, and we want to make sure that we're still planting new trees and replacing trees as they fail, and that we're interested in as much cubic feet of structural soil underneath sidewalks as possible underneath there. Cause that's something that we were talking about.
Okay.
Cause they're saying like, oh, well, it's expensive. And I was like, spare no expense, it's like, it pays off in the end because people spend more money on tree lined streets than they do without street trees.
So that's basically what the op-ed would be, is like protect the trees that are there, plant new trees and make adequate setbacks to allow trees to be planted.
Yeah, and structural soil underneath the sidewalks.
I can send you information about the structural soil bit.
Okay,
I-
good,
Although
I'd be
structural soil,
happy to help. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, you first.
I was just gonna say, I'd be happy to help edit. I think it'd be useful to have some information about what the existing zoning laws are in there, and I'm happy to edit and maybe add a blurb about existing zoning. But I can't commit to writing it. So if you're gonna write it, and then I'm happy to kind of collaborate and include some of that existing info as
that
well.
would be great.
Yeah, I would say like, have the slant on like, it's a good investment for the structural soil now, so that the trees have a place to grow. I mean, just looking at that picture, right? With the tree climbing out of the sidewalk there, it seems like that would be less likely to happen if there was place down underneath for the roots to go.
This is the picture. I don't know if you saw it, Brooke. So that's from Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Because
Yeah,
like
I don't-
in
yeah.
the pitch with, last night there was another one, and in the pitch about like, let's think about durability versus cost and stuff like that, and they were really like emphasizing about how cubic feet of structural soil is really expensive and it's a big investment, and like, do we want to have that? And I was like, yes, 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 spare no expense on the trees as far as I'm concerned. Not everybody has that opinion.
So you could write this about anything. I think anytime we write an op-ed about trees and about our committee work is important. I was thinking we would be more to the angle of, on this one, trying to change the zoning laws that allow for buildings to be built right up to the edge of the sidewalk where there's no room for any trees then.
Yes, yeah, that's also an issue that
Yeah.
they're broaching too.
So, yeah, why don't you take a stab at it, Brooks, see what you're inspired to write, and then we can go from there. Or if you need more help, then say it now,
Okay.
or send me an email.
Yeah, and Brooks, I'm happy to help. I just can't commit to writing an article, but if you want to like collaborate or anything, I'm happy to work with
Yeah,
you.
I'll get something going and then people can add to it.
Great,
Yeah.
thank
Okay.
you.
So in about that, the people that, like, I was going to talk about this later when it was in the agenda, but I'll just talk about now. Last night when I was there, I was talking to some of the people from Dodson and Flinker, and they are excited to come and talk to us. I invited them to this meeting tonight, and they said they couldn't make it tonight, but maybe they could come next month and talk to us at our meeting.
Great, yeah.
And they said that they would get in contact with Alan.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess in the minutes, maybe mention the Dodson and Flinker by name.
And who are they again?
They're the people that have been hired to do this whole like survey. It's like this 1.5 year long survey that they're doing on design standards.
Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be great to have them come to the meeting at some point.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, moving on to other things in my report. I might have mentioned this to people last month, I don't remember, but I heard from one of the editors of the Amherst Indy, they wanted to reprint the op-ed I wrote about the tree inventory. And so I don't know if that got put into the Indy, but I think it did.
I saw it. Yeah, it did.
Oh, great. Okay. we talked last month about the work days being posted on the town calendar. Julian, were you working on that?
I think I was gonna do something with that and I completely forgot what I was gonna do with that.
Or Alan, maybe you were going to check in about that too.
Yeah, it's pretty simple to do. It can be done. I would just need to do that, for every event.
So it gets on the town calendar.
Yep.
Great. Okay.
Okay, got it.
Good. So I don't think for this month, this Saturday, we're doing the building the fences to the tree trunk protection things. I don't think we can have that big a group, but starting in the spring when we do work days, it'd be great to have all those in the calendar. Yeah. All right. One other thing I was supposed to ask you, Shoshana, about writing a thank you note to Sugarloaf Nurseries.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't ask you. I don't know if you did it. Do you have the cards that we have?
I don't think I have the cards, but I do believe I sent something like a while ago, like several months ago.
For last year, but they donated again this year. So,
Oh, they donated again? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll send them another one.
all right, I'll try to find the thank you cards. I think I might have them if I didn't give them to you.
Yeah, maybe you have them. Like I had them for a little while, but then
Yeah.
brought to somebody else, and I can't remember who.
Okay, and then the last thing on my thing is that I just got an email today from Susan McCoy, tree report at the Munson Library. Do you know anything about this, Alan?
She's been looking for information on the trees that have been planted at the library and what trees are there, like mature trees that are there. I think. Is that what it is?
Yeah, so apparently something has been done with that. She said that Phyllis Lehrer is including the tree report in her column this weekend, and Scott was also going to mention it in an upcoming column. So,
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure what's being mentioned, but that's good. So look for those things in the Gazette and the Bulletin. All right, and then that's all I have. Let's move on to Julian. Your report.
Yeah, I had a few little things. First one is I was thinking about planting locations for 2025. And just obviously we have a fairly substantial list. If there's any construction projects where they're like ripping up sidewalks, adding new sidewalks, trees, etc., it would be awesome to sort of know about them and know if there's any planting locations that might come out of those projects coming this year. So I was thinking about that. Obviously, we already still have a fair amount of planting locations. Yeah, I saw your article in the Indy Henry. That looked great. The nursery, I stopped by there yesterday, actually, and it appears to be in pretty good shape. Everything's ready for winter, so that's good. And the only other thing is that I may be attending the Tree Wardens Conference in, I think it's January. My advisor made me aware of that, so that might be something that folks want to attend, putting that out there.
You want to
Is it gonna
send
be,
Go ahead, Brooks.
where's the conference?
I think it's in Sturbridge. I could be wrong. I'm not sure if it's like all committee members invited. I just saw it in my email today and figured to make a note of it.
Okay.
You could send us info about it just so
Yeah.
we know. Yeah,
Absolutely.
great. Okay, good. Thank you. Alan, Tree Wardens report.
Let's see. So John Root contacted me to let me know about an opportunity to get some seedlings from a Yellow Bud Farm in Northfield. They've got some kind of program to donate seedlings, mostly it looks like fruit or nut bearing tree seedlings. So I haven't reached out to them yet, but I want to talk to the committee. So these are very small seedlings, maybe, 12, 13, 14, whatever inches. And they would need to be grown out for a number of years before they can be planted. But they're free. It's a pretty nice list. I can read that off quickly. We have persimmons, pawpaw, mulberry, peach, honey locust. It's not really a fruiting tree. Yellow bud hickory, hickory hybrids, Chinese chestnut, northern pecan, black walnut, persimmon walnut hybrid. Persian walnut hybrid, heart nut, and oaks.
Oh,
So
when would we have to order them?
we would be ordering these for the spring.
No, when would we have to decide?
I would say soon. I haven't contacted them yet. I wanted to see if the committee was interested and, what kind of quantities they're talking about. Do we want to do 10 of each? What are the thoughts?
Do we have
committee.
room in the nursery to plant them and let them grow a few years?
Yeah, I mean, we have, that whole space is pretty large. It wouldn't be too much work to make more room there. So that's possible. We just need to purchase more grow bags or something to grow them in.
I think that sounds like a great opportunity,
Yeah,
Merce.
Yeah.
I would just put my pitch that I'd like to see a lot of native species. Some of those are not, so that would be my preference, is more native species.
Well, persimmon is a native species. It produces fruit and it's also a beautiful tree.
Yeah, that sounds great.
It grows fairly large.
Papa's native.
Yeah, pawpaws need, they need shade the first few years and they're a little more troublesome.
Yeah, but I would love all those. I think those are all wonderful.
Is this a donation, Alan, or we'd purchase?
Yeah, it's a donation.
Wow.
I think it's a great opportunity. Some of those strike me as being street trees, like oaks certainly. And the honey locust I know is a pretty good urban street tree, even though I don't know about its fruiting capacity or use. But some of the other trees that maybe aren't street tree compatible necessarily, or Brooks, to your point, native. If we have a couple of years to grow them in the nursery, we could consider a food forest, a place to put a food forest, expanding the one Henry that's we've been there, but I can't think of the name of the road.
Oh, at the South Amherst School?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great opportunity, and even if we get some trees we don't know what exactly to do with, we have some years to figure it out.
I also think trees like that could see a space in parks or like on certain projects. Like I'm thinking where they redid the sewer lines, that homeowner might like a large tree to cover that area or something like that. So, large open green spaces, conservation land, etc.
Sure.
Is there any capacity for giving the trees to people in the community? Like I know we do our giveaway for Arbor Day, but people are interested in having trees planted on their property. Would these be trees we could offer to them as well if they were interested in something like that, a fruiting tree?
Yeah, I mean, the town, we're not buying them. They're being donated. So definitely they could be used. I mean, it'd be nice to keep them close to the public way or something like that, park or common space in a housing development, like an environmental justice neighborhood or something. So I would imagine, they weren't purchased with taxpayer dollars. So.
Okay, well, let's do it. Let's maybe get 5 varieties, 10 each, something like that.
Okay.
Sounds good.
And If
I
we're
would
gonna-
suggest the persimmons. The northern pecan is also a nice tree, whether you ever get nuts from them that are edible, I don't know. My tree, 20 years in, has produced a very small amount of nuts that are tiny. They're good tasting, but not really worth the trouble. But it's a lovely tree also, and that's also native, at least a little further south. What were the other varieties? Maybe some of the oaks certainly would be good.
Right.
Pawpaw. Pawpaw seedlings were very popular when we were handing those out.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Those would just have to, if we plant them, we would have to do some work to keep them shaded for a few years.
Right. What about the hickories?
Hickory's great.
Yeah,
I like the honey locust too for urban conditions.
Okay. I think we've labeled 6, which is good. So we'll do 6 species, 10 of each.
Okay,
What
So we
type
have-
of, I'm sorry, what type of oak?
doesn't specify, just said oaks. So,
Oak, okay. And was there a specific type of hickory?
there was a hickory hybrids is what they have here.
Okay.
Sure. So let's do one thing of oaks and whatever kind. The hickories, the honey locust, the persimmons, the pecans, and was one more named?
Pawpaw.
Pawpaw. Okay. That sound good, everyone?
yep, sounds
Sure.
great.
Okay, so then also I need relatively quickly information of the committee's activities, sort of in a report form for the Tree City USA application.
Yeah, I can start working on that and send it around. I was thinking about that earlier.
Copies of any of the articles or op-eds or anything published this past year.
Okay.
Would be good. Pictures also, if you've got any interesting pictures. Um,
Yeah,
Yeah,
if people
so,
have some good photos, that would be good to send them to me and I'll collate that with whatever I read up and send it to Alan.
It would be, Dan Zomek did mention it would be nice to get the acknowledgement letter that was done last year. There was a piece that got put in the paper from the committee thanking Sugarloaf Nurseries for the donations. I'm not sure if anybody feels like repeating that from last year's donation. I'm not sure if I have a copy of it.
Oh, Shoshana, you did something on Facebook to thank them last year.
Yeah, I did.
So maybe repeat that at least there and
All right.
on Instagram.
We did get some trees planted this past month. Got 12 trees planted on West Street by the new bus pull off and sidewalk over by Potwine Lane. We planted 4 trees over at the new pump station and a number of shrubs on Southeast Street. Got that in just as the ground was starting to freeze. We haven't finished that planting actually. Top dress and mulch that area. And I think that's it.
Okay. Thank you. Next is treasurer's report.
Yes. Our current balance reflects no change from last month. It's still $11,887.35. The encumbrance has been removed. And the that payment, I just saw it on the notes, Henry, about the removals payment into the fund that was done in April. That was $1,920.
Great. And the encumbrance you said is still there?
Nope, it's been removed.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, that's great. Good. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And social media report, Shoshana.
Mm,
Shoshana?
Yep. Yeah, I've been trying to post stuff on the Facebook, relevant things about, our meeting and points of interest for, like tree related interests, sharing things.
Great. Julian?
One question is where is the cage making gonna be for the tree protection?
Yeah, that'll be at we have a workshop building here. So
Okay,
the address, the address is 120 Pulpit Hill Road.
okay, great. Yeah, I know where you're talking about.
And you come
Right.
into the driveway, it's the very first building on your right, a red building. And we'll
Excellent.
gather there around 9 o'clock. So
Are we
just come
actually
on.
putting them on trees or just creating them?
No, we're going to create them, and
Okay.
then we can go out in small groups and do that, or wait till spring and do that. Or
Want to put that on social media to like invite people or not?
well, how many people can come Saturday?
I'll be there.
I
Yeah, I'll
can,
be there.
I have an open house that I have to do, so I
Mhm.
can't go.
I can't make it this Saturday either.
Brooks and Ellen.
Uh, yeah, so 9 o'clock on Saturday, the 14th. Yeah, I could do that.
Okay.
I'm just waiting. My son's in a basketball tournament and I don't know when it
Okay.
starts Saturday. It
Okay.
depends what happens Friday, but
So yeah,
I do wanna be
sorry,
there.
Yeah. So it won't be that many people. So sure, Julian, why don't you put
Okay.
that out on
Sounds good.
inviting people.
Got it.
Alan, are you going to come? You
Not,
have all the supplies, so
yeah, I definitely need to get to the supplies. I don't think I'm gonna be going.
okay. All right, good.
And Henry, could you tell me that address again?
Say what? The
Could you
address.
say that address one more time?
Yeah, it's 120 Pulpit Hill Road.
Okay,
It's in North Amherst. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's the very first building on the right when you come in the driveway.
okay.
Okay. Great. Downtown Planning Group, anything new, Shoshana, or?
Just what I reported before
Yeah.
about, how they're gonna come and talk to us, and, we looked at a lot of, different possibilities, and people gave their opinions. It wasn't as stressful as it normally is. Like, normally there's more people talking about how they wanna build, make density and stuff like that, but a lot of those people weren't there, so it was a little more pleasant.
Good.
Yeah. More people
Okay.
there that
Oh.
were talking about how they want, stuff like the setbacks and the trees and that sort of thing.
Yeah, good. All right. So second Saturday work days, we already talked about. Go ahead, Sarah. Yeah.
I just was gonna chime in on I wasn't at the meetings, but I know a little bit about Dodson and Flinker. If that's helpful information for the committee before they visit us at our meeting next month. They are a landscape architecture firm based in Northampton, and they specialize in something called form-based codes, which is helping communities design codes like zoning, or bylaws based on form. So it's not that's why they've been doing all of these like visual preference surveys and the community outreaches. They're trying to get a sense of like form, scale, spacing, to help inform these design standards. So the work that they're doing now isn't going to change the zoning laws, but it's the sort of document that would be used to inform changes to zoning laws, which is why our op-ed or our opinion on things like the zoning setbacks in downtown, that's not going to be changed now, but we want to make sure that any work that they do is representative of the direction that we would like those things to get moved in, so that when the zoning bylaw is up for review or something like that, that it has all of the information included in the documents that Dodson and Flinker is going to be submitting. Is that helpful? Does anybody have any questions? I'm not like, I don't work for them, but I know that about them professionally because they're another landscape architecture firm.
Okay. That's good to know. That gives us more impetus to write an editorial.
And their tone for the most part is about like how can we build up? How can we build up there's this one station where you're playing with like these little models and you know they have all these options and they're constantly trying to get you to like think about moving into the direction of like 5-story buildings in downtown Amherst.
Yeah.
Like in one thing they had like, you know, place the building that you would like to see at Ren's Garage. And, you know, it's like they were really pushing the 5-story building at Ren's Garage.
Hmm.
Okay, anything else on this?
One thing I would just add is, I mean, I think that having some of that setback for trees is important that we make that known, but it's also important that, like, when a zoning discussion actually comes up, yes, we'll have this in the report, but that it doesn't suffice for that. If they're going to be redoing the zoning codes, we should also, as a committee, be there at that time saying we would prefer the setback so that we can have trees in the street, etc. And also have some sort of expert perspective of like, when a building is this close, trees might not get the proper light, they might not get the proper water, etc.
Great. Okay, move on. Yeah. Second Saturday workdays, the tree protection for this Saturday, we talked about 2025 plans. I like your idea, Julian, about keeping aware of where road construction's happening, and Alan usually keeps us abreast of that. So that's good.
As they start to develop the project list, which they're already doing, we'll start having conversations soon at DPW around those projects and, you know, tree impact and where trees can be planted and all that.
Okay. Do we need to say anything more about 2025 plans for planting? No? Okay, town tree inventory, next steps, Alan?
The next steps are really internal things where I am starting to integrate it into my work, my daily work, trees. So it's, I think it's live now. I haven't actually looked to see if it is live, but I think it's available for viewing.
I
I'll have to
did
check.
I did check it. The link that you sent was viewable, like you could see it on the Maps GIS type system.
I'll have to look and see that. Yeah, I need to make sure that you have the right link and you can post it on the Shade Tree Committee webpage, and start publicizing it, you know.
Yeah, why don't you check that and send me the link and I'll send it out to the committee again. Okay. Great. Environmental justice neighborhoods, Ellen.
Well, we'll apply for the TD Bank grant that is due at the end of January. Alan, thank you for answering some of my questions today. I'll probably get started with it a little bit this month, and then we'll really focus on it in January. We'll have to figure out how much money we want to request. And I guess also get some letters of support. Yeah, there'll be some legwork for sure. And we'll have to also come up with a a calendar of the work and when it will happen. And I think if we want to plant as many trees as we originally said, it will be more than just a single Saturday morning. So we'll have to decide whether we're going to devote several Saturdays to it, or we're going to have to do more hours during a full week. I'm not quite sure how that's all going to play out. And I think the education is a really important component of that. Again, this is why a schedule of deliverables will be good, because we'll have to plan for, some community outreach at the boulders, and letting people know if we get the grant, how it's going to happen, and get them involved and caring for the trees and understanding the project and all of that. So I don't have anything, I haven't done anything yet. I'm just thinking of all the things I have to do. Yeah, I think I think the main thing we're going to want to think about is how much money do we want to spend? And I assume we would want to plant fairly, fairly substantial trees, so it doesn't take 20 years until they finally start providing shade.
Yeah. So the mowers don't cut them down.
Yeah, but bigger trees are more work and cost more money. And I think, Alan, I'll probably work with you to figure some of that stuff out. I mean, how
thanks
do
for
I
doing
guess
that.
would any of the trees in our nursery be appropriate for this, or would we want to use the money to purchase new trees?
I was just gonna say that we have the Dawn Redwoods, which were donated, so that's not town money. And we have some Sugarloaf nursery trees that were donated, and now it looks like we might have another donation. So like if it's donated trees, it's not using town money, I presume, correct me if I'm wrong, that once those trees mature a little more, they can be placed on private property to some extent.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, you're right, Julian. I forgot about that. We don't want to use our town money trees for this. So
Yeah. So if we have those 20 Dawn Redwood trees, once they mature a little bit more, I presume that would be able to make up a pretty sizable planting in one of the environmental justice communities.
yeah, if we get this grant, we'll find out in March if we get the grant. And it has to be done within that calendar year. The final report is due in December. So if the Dawn Redwoods are not ready, then we'll have to find something else.
Yeah, I imagine they're not going to be that big by then, and we would need to buy trees.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to just, if I can jump in there, and just first of all, I want to thank you, Ellen, for taking the time to do this and work your way through it. I know it's not always easy, especially when people don't respond in a timely manner. I do apologize. But I would recommend that the committee go for a larger nursery bought trees. That's why we're getting the grant, is to buy trees.
Mhm.
We're going to be providing the labor and materials and the education and the training. What we really need to do right away is come up with a scope of the project. And which means we need to contact the apartment complexes that we want to plant on and get permission and get quantities of trees and locations. And you're going to need that for the application to submit it. So that means, that's January, it's due by the end of January.
Yeah, I just have the document open here. Hold on one second.
I will contact the Brook and the Boulders, since I have the contact info. And I'll try to meet with someone and get a letter from them saying, yes, we want to do this, and talk in general, how many trees they might be able to fit there and how we reach out to their group, to their
I mean,
residents.
there's endless space to put trees there. It's just,
Yeah.
vast open areas. Yeah, the grant is due Friday, January 31st.
There's a lot of legwork that needs to happen between now and getting that submitted.
Yes.
I did speak with the DEI director, and she'd be more than happy to help, with education and outreach, or just whatever assistance the committee needs. And I imagine, I haven't talked to them yet, but I believe Crest would also be very happy to participate in a tree planting. And, there's 9 people there to help plant trees and organize and do things and kind of help make the day happen. So I know we can get, if we do a fall planting when the schools are in session, colleges and university, I'm sure we could get a number of college students to help. And if we reached out to the actual people who live in the apartments, then we probably get another handful of people
Yeah.
to help plant. So I think it's a great project. There's a lot of people who want to see this kind of thing happen. So it's a great opportunity all around.
The one of the key pieces, I think, to this is to find the residents. If there's like a residents committee, or do we knock on doors and see who cares about this? But to me, that it's only going to really work if there's some residents who are bought into this. And it's like, isn't this great? We have some of our own trees right outside our apartments.
I
Yeah,
imagine
I don't know if the management company would allow us to put flyers in each mailbox, or they would distribute them. Because I do think.
I imagine the
That's-
management company probably has like an email list too for residents, or some sort of like community email.
They
group.
may not share that with us, though. I don't know.
Could ask them to post
Yeah.
something about
Yeah.
it.
So I will ask, I will ask, I'll try to meet with someone there, get their approval, get a letter, find out how we do outreach to their members, and then, look at the area in terms of how many trees we could plant.
Yeah.
Yeah, when
and
we did Rolling Green, the management sent out a flyer, like a update kind of thing, to all of the apartments and emails.
Yeah, good.
I do think, I did speak to, a person I probably was just the leasing office, who was really friendly and nice and seemed excited about the project. But I don't know that that person has any authority to do anything. So yeah, Henry, I think it really will have to come from the management group. I know they're in New Jersey. I don't know if there's any rep that's here. But it would be great to have a name of somebody and a contact. So, and I think you said Mindy Dahm would write us a letter of support too.
Yeah. And
So
she sent me a contact person from the Boulders, and I have the old contact from the Brook. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think, oh, there was one other point I wanted to make. Oh, does anybody think we should, And Alan, you know better about this, you know, how to get big trees at sort of a wholesale price. I don't know if we want to give business to Sugarloaf because they've been so great to us. I mean, I think that would be a nice reciprocal thing to do, but I don't know how their prices compare to any of the other many nurseries in the area.
Yeah, so what you do is, we would put out a RFP or RFQ, depending on what we think it's gonna cost. And send it out to the wholesale nurseries around, so this, you know, probably at a minimum have to send it out to 3. I do usually send something to Sugarloaf nurseries. They have a hard time competing with the wholesale nurseries because they're not a wholesale nursery, so but I do end up buying trees for them that I can't get at other the wholesale nurseries, so.
Okay, so then that means we'll also have to identify what types of trees we want to plant in order to get those quotes. So again, lots of things to do.
I'll just say I did a planting. I bought a tree for my own yard at Sugarloaf Nurseries, and I think with the discounts and stuff, like they at the end of the year in the fall time, they had like a 50% off discount. So we got a $400 tree for $200, a red maple. So I don't know if the town is able to take advantage of those discounts in the same way, but if we are, it might be something to consider.
We did. I did take advantage of that, and Dan usually calls me up too and says, you know, we're getting ready to close down, and that's when he contacts me about donating trees.
Excellent.
And
Awesome.
we do purchase trees at a greatly discounted price as well.
Great. Well, thank you, Ellen, for doing all this work. Yeah. It's great to see you take that project on.
Sure. I hope it works.
It's great. All right, moving on. Bee City and Town Hall Gardens. Britt's not here. Alan, do you have anything new on that?
No updates.
Okay. Mary Maple Table. I assume there's no update on that yet. No.
I was just gonna say, Alan, I have an updated plan to send you.
Okay. Thank you.
That's on the Town Hall Gardens.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, it's
yeah.
the same plan as before with just some removals.
Great. Okay. Website update. Bennett's not here. State level initiatives. Haven't done anything on that. Significant tree ordinance. Sarah?
Nothing, no.
Nothing.
Nope, no update.
All right. Well, that's all
Oh,
the.
Henry, can I just chime in there? It
Yes.
reminds me that you know, with this downtown design, you know, group that's working on developing form-based sort of landscape design downtown. It would be worth mentioning, you know, significant tree preservation, or asking them about you know, how we could get something like that in a business district downtown to preserve mature, you know, encourage preserving mature shade trees on private property. So I know it's a goal of the committee, and if we could just start downtown, you know, that's what that group is discussing. So.
All right. Any committee comments or any other topics not anticipated? No? All right, then I think we're done. Thank you all. Yeah, I'll see some of you Saturday, 9 o'clock or so, and we'll see what we get done there. Good.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care. Yeah.
Thank you.